What is up, fellas? And welcome if you're new to the channel here. We're gonna be working on the single cab today. So I've got to fix the fuel pump of this thing because I burned it up. It was just idling. You know, I've already got a fake Walbro 450 in here. It's like, pretty sure it's an eBay replica. So I've got a real one on the way in the mail. But what I'm gonna do is install it with a hot wire kit. Let me show you all this hot wire kit. Here's that hot wire kit. Bought it from Racetronics. There's the part number right there. You see it. So this is gonna allow me to it's just gonna allow me to run a Walbro 450, and that's what I'm gonna do. So what I'm gonna do is put the back up on ramps. I can't drive it up on ramps, so I'm just gonna lift it up, throw some ramps under it, put some jack stands up in the front, start crawling under this thing, and take this fuel pump, take this fuel tank out and slide it out, and we'll work on it. So here we go. Now I know you guys saw me rocking Crocs here with no socks. Well, stubbed my freaking toe. Best advice I can give you about stubbing your toe, about how to not stub your toe, just don't stub your toe. Just like that. All right, I'm gonna get this front end jacked up now, and then I'll be able to crawl up under there. There we go. Got her all raised up. Now, got to get some tools. I think all you need to remove the dang pump is I think all you need to remove the tank is a 15 millimeter. Of course, it's not right there. It's in here. 15 millimeter, and I can't think of the other sizes now. Oh my god, I'm missing a 15 there too. There's one. There's the other one. All right. So, 15 millimeter, and I think it's either a 6 or a 7 on the bolts that hold the pump. The bolts that hold the neck in. It might even be a quarter. Let's go see. Alright, these bolts right here are 7 millimeters. There should be another one up top there for y'all, but I don't have one up there, so I'm gonna remove these bolts real quick. Alright, got them two off. Now I gotta get down here. Oh, get these bolts off. There's two straps holding this tank on. I'm sure you guys know what's going on down here. So we get up in there, get this one. All right. Almost got it. Sit y'all down real quick. I'm just gonna remove these two bolts. I got that front bolt out, and as I was loosening the back one here, it started to fall. So I'm gonna get the jack up under here. Try to get it right in the middle there, support it. All right, I'm gonna loosen it up. Loosen this tank. All right. Let me get up under there. Remove this strap real quick. All right. Let's go this way. It's hung up here on the filler neck. Okay, there we go. Oh, there's so much dust. All right, as you can see, we've got the tank down now. Let me get up under here. Okay, so I got all these lines loose now and those connectors unplugged. To get these lines loose, one's coming off the evap solenoid here, you just squeeze, and then these ones, you just you squeeze these fittings right here. You just squeeze these and they release these hoses. So now I'm gonna pull this thing out and see if we can find a problem with the wiring. Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna pull it out now. See if we can find a problem with the wiring. I hope nothing's wrong with the wiring. But if there is, I would like to see. Leave a nice little handle on there for you so it's easier to pull out. All right, got to take this thing off now. Just gonna hammer it away from how these little latches are locking it in here. Just gonna put a pry bar or a flathead and just hammer it off. So let me do that real quick. You won't? You ugly. Okay, my cut. All right. What kind of shit was that? Mark your territory. All right, what's up? We're up in the garage now. It's actually a couple days later because it started raining on us and then we didn't have everything we needed. So, let me get this out of the way. Got our tank here. Got our fuel pump assembly apart right here. I pulled the pump out of there. The pump just sits in there. I'm sorry. The pump sits in here. And let's see. Grab the pump here. Here's the pump. Here's the, I think it might be a real Walbro, but this is that one that I pulled out of the truck. It actually, you know, it seems to work because I tested, I put some pins in there and I connected positive and negative, just like tapped it real quick and it seemed to light up. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but I'm not gonna mess with it anymore because I've got that new stuff on the way. I've got the new pump supposed to come in today, and I also received the other wiring harness that I needed. So the kit.
Have you ever had a dream that that you
To hotwire this truck comes with this connector right here, and it only has these red, and it only has the positive and ground coming off of it. And what you're supposed to do is unpin these purple wires from the stock connector. That looks like this. The stock connector looks like this and everything. So you'll just unpin these from the stock connector and put them into this new connector right here. Just clip them in, just like that. And then you won't have to do this like I did, but I bought the wrong harness, so I made it work. So when you get your pump in, you know, I'm gonna put my pump, you know, you're gonna grab the pump, run it up through here with the hose on it and stuff, and then, you know, plug in the hose up here. No, I'm sorry, plug in the hose right here, and then run your wiring harness through as well, through the bottom, and plug this into your fuel pump, the positive and negative wire for the fuel pump. Plug it in, and then you'll plug this one into the top right here. So when I get my fuel pump in today, I'll show y'all what it looks like when it's back together, and then I'll show you how the whole harness connects to the truck. I've got the harness over here. I can't remember if I showed it to you guys or not. Here we are. So here's the pump. I mean, here's the wiring harness right here. This battery, this is a battery terminal right here. This will go straight to your alternator, and there's a fuse in between there and all the rest of the harness. And this whole line right here, this whole wire runs all the way from your engine bay, all the way down here. And then you'll plug this one right here into the factory connector on top of the fuel pump, and then this one right here, you got to buy an adapter for it, and I've got that adapter in there. That's what I just showed y'all, and it plugs into here, and then you plug that into this one, the factory connection here, and then this one stays the same. You don't have to mess with the little one. So I'm waiting on my pump to come in, and then when my pump comes in, I'll show you how I routed all the stuff. It's very simple. It just goes right back together like factory. So yeah, I'll pick up when I get my pump in. All right, guys, I'm interrupting this video. This is actually like a week later. I ran into fuel pressure problems with the bucket. It wasn't, well, it was the cause of the bucket, but I also had a loose ground on my truck. So here's a stock bucket right here. So when you put the Walbro inside of there is, I'll hold this with my feet because I'm holding my son here. There is a little, where is it? There's a little hole right here, and normally there's a little valve on that hole that will float whenever the gas, it'll allow gas inside of the bucket. And the problem with putting a Walbro in a stock bucket is it's got a bigger filter and it's a bit bigger of a pump, so now it's holding down that little hole. So what I did was, there's a screen there, I punched it out. I also drilled like 3 holes into the side of the bucket, like, you know, like here. I just drilled 3 holes so I could get more fuel into the bucket, and that gave me fuel pressure back, because I had below half a, well, at the end of this video I had just barely over half a tank, so it still started because it could still flow into the top of the bucket. But I then ran into problems where it wouldn't start, so I wanted to add that to make sure you knock out that little hole in the bottom of the bucket, and then if you want, you could drill holes inside the bucket, and that'll save you from having to pull the tank again or pull the bed. It is way easier to pull the bed. I wish I would have just pulled the bed the first time, but I didn't. and that's the way y'all see me do it. But I would recommend doing the way where you pull the bed back. It's way easier. So let's get back into this video. All right, fellas, check this out. I just got the pump together finally. I got the pump in the mail. Finally came in. There it is down there. It's a Walbro 450. And it fits in the stock pump location, just about. Unless you were to trim the bucket or something, but it's not going to clear any more of the bucket. Like, you can see how much it's sitting off. Yeah, that's the only thing with the differences in the stock pump and the Walbro. Let's see if I got a stock pump laying around here. There's one in there, but yeah, I can't show you. So Walbro hooks right in. You put the hose that comes with it onto the Walbro, and then you put the hose right up in there to the outlet here, and then you just connect. You connect the connectors that it came with, and you pin these two purple wires into this connector right here, because these come off the floater right here. And that's all that's to it. That's all you have to do to put the Walbro into your tank, at least. And I'm going to put it back in, and then I'll show you how to do this wiring harness. All right, we are now running this harness. So I've already got the positive hooked up here on the alternator. It says right there on the wire, alternator output. So that's just what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to use some fancy zip ties to hold the line up, the wire all the way down the side of the truck. I heard if you use black zip ties, it'll give you more horsepower, but green, I don't know about green. Somebody's gonna have to put in the comments what we do about green ones. So I'm gonna just zip tie it where I can, get everything out the way. Right, there's one. Got it held away from the header here. Let's see. I think I need to replace my transmission rear seal. It's giving me some problems. It's been leaking for a while now. All right, let's see. Let's run it up here. Zip tied up there. I'm gonna run it all the way down here, and I'll show you where I zip tied it, guys. All right, fellas, running out of daylight here, but I got it ran all the way along the frame. Comes up out here, zip ties along these factory harness, and I've got the power up at the battery. I mean, up at the alternator, and there's my ground right there. There's a heat shield right here for the stock exhaust. And bolts holding it on. So I just put the relay and the ground up here, right above my exhaust. it'll be all right though. And so now all I've got to do is put this fuel pump up here. Put the fuel tank up here, and so that harness has an adapter right here. This is the adapter. Yeah, right here. This is the adapter. This line right here, and I'll give you guys all the links that I used down in the description. But it plugs right there into the factory harness, and this is the other part of the factory harness that you leave it alone, you still plug it in, and then here's your new connector. So yeah, now we're gonna put this out of my way, and we're gonna get the fuel tank up in here, and hopefully that goes real smooth, because it's pretty difficult sometimes. It's got half a tank in it. So, all right, let's go get this thing. Everything's plugged up in there, just like how I said. We just got the tank bolted up. Oh man, I hope this thing starts. We're gonna push it off these ramps and give her a jump start and see what it does. So let me push this thing off.
What was that?
How did it stop it?
It's on.
All right, fellas. Got her moved up. Got the cables on. Oh boy, I hope she starts. Oh boy. see. I can hear that thing kicking on, boys. Y'all ready? Come on, please. I think the intake's off. All right, now let's see if it takes a while to crank. We're alive, baby! We're alive! It's alive! All right, pulled her up, parked her. She drove, idled. Means we got fuel pressure. That's sick. So that's how you do the Walbro fuel 50 swap. I've never done it with the harness like that before. I've always just hot wired it in and never had a problem, but that was the right way to do it, was with that harness.
No kidding.
You all right? Why are you following me, babe? Goofy. So thanks for watching, guys. We got this thing wrapped up. I'm pretty excited. So y'all know what's coming soon. The little chop, a little rup up. that cam swap. Y'all know what's next. So we're doing the cam swap next, and we're gonna get this thing chopping. Then we're gonna get this thing turbo pretty soon. So thanks for watching, guys. See y'all later. Follow the Instagram at JackStanBills. Peace.